What's up, guys? Today we got the Galaxy S22 Ultra in the house finally here, and we also got some accessories. It should have been here earlier, but I had a terrible experience with Best Buy. Completely awful pre-order from Best Buy, so I probably would never order from Best Buy again. Just awful. Completely just didn't even ship the order out. But we got it. I had to actually go to the store and pick this one up. But let's go ahead and get into it. This is the 8 gig, 128 gig version. You got a case, the 45 watt charger. So we'll do a charging test from 0 to 100, see how this goes. But let's just go ahead and unbox this guy. And we got a ton of comparisons coming. All right, let's go ahead and get this off. And honestly, not much of an unboxing experience. Wow, this is kind of hefty, guys. Heavier than I thought it was going to be. Of course, we get the USB Type-C cable. Of course, no charger in the box. Unboxing experience, not as fun as it used to be back in the day, but let's do that first peel here. Let's get a good angle here. Nice. Look at that, guys. Beautiful phone. I think this looks great. A lot of people like the S21 Ultra. I don't think you have to choose between both. I think they actually both look really great. This looks super clean. See, we got some plastic up front here. Boom. So let's go ahead and boot this up. Let's check out the S Pen. Boom, very nice. Let's go ahead and boot this up. So I'll do my first impressions, go ahead and set up. Really excited to use this phone. This phone hopefully will replace my OnePlus 7 Pro here, you know, if I like it. And yeah, so I got a ton of content coming. Let's get all this plastic off. So I do want to run over these specs just in case you have not heard them yet. This is a glass and metal device here. It's IP68 dust and water resistant, and it just feels extremely solid. Like I said, a little sharper, like a Note if you're coming from the S21 Ultra. It has those sort of really sharp corners. And yeah, I really like the build quality on this phone. It just feels, you know, very premium. Now, we got to talk about this display because I went outside just to snap a few quick photos. This display is absolutely gorgeous, man. It is super, super bright. Even in direct sunlight, it's like it does no issues here. So it's got a dynamic AMOLED display. It's 120 hertz HDR10. It goes up to 750 nits brightness at its peak at 6.8 inches. You can see we have the punch hole in the middle, and it is Gorilla Glass Victus. So it's just a beautiful display, super color accurate. This is the best that you can get from Samsung. Like I said, crazy bright in direct sunlight. This phone just does an amazing job with that. So overall, if you're into watching a lot of content, this thing is super color accurate, very big, bright, beautiful display here. Again, just excels in the display department here. Alright, so I do want to talk about the CPU. So we do have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, Geno 630. I tried to run the Geekbench scores, but yeah, I just get a weird score that's just off from. So that's why I said it's an early release. The phone just came out, so there's a couple other little weird things about this phone. Like there are some lag problems with scrolling. Let's see if I can kind of find one here. If I can kind of, yeah, you guys see like okay, sometimes it'll kind of like hiccup and lag a little bit, and I'm not the only one that had this problem. So it's nothing that I'm concerned about because Samsung really can just, you know, push out an update. Usually it'll take like an update or two for them to get all these bugs. It's not a bad lag problem, but it's one of the things I noticed kind of like off the bat. But yeah, it is there. So the processor is, you know, top class, very fast. One UI 4.1. You still have all of your stuff if you know, never seen One UI. It's got a ton of stuff. Wireless power sharing. I can charge another device on the back of this phone. Dolby Atmos secured folders. Samsung desktop support is on here. If I want to beam it to a TV or a monitor, I can do that. So this phone is featured packed. The stylus, you know, it's the same old stylus. It has, this one has kind of like a soft touch feel to it, and it's extremely accurate. I could tell the difference. Like it feels like super instant as well. So this one is just even better for people who like to do digital artwork or whatever. You know, you'll really love this. Or if you just want to just take down notes or like I said, I like to use this for a grocery list. Still works pretty good for the camera as well too. So if I'm like doing exercise videos or just trying to film, I can, you know, snap a photo straight from the stylus, and I can also record video and do it like that as well too. So if I'm, you know, at a distance trying to show somebody something, this is a great little tool to do that. So far, I've been trying to play a few games on here. I haven't had any lag problems with gaming on here. It's been pretty smooth for the most part here. Now, what's interesting about this phone is that the standard the Note 10 Plus, let's just use that for example, that came with 256 gigs of internal storage and 12 gigs of RAM, and we'll get into that comparison really soon. Now, on the S22 Ultra here, this base model is 8 gigs, 128 gigs, no SD card support. So it's a little bizarre that they went down on the storage for a base model, but I thought that was something just kind of interesting there. One of the things I'm noticing right off the rip is that this phone does get a little bit warm. It's getting way warmer than I thought it would, and I haven't really been pushing this phone. You know, watching a couple videos, really just downloading stuff, and it's getting a little bit warm where the camera module is. Now, it's not uncomfortable to the touch, but I could see this kind of being an issue with gaming potentially if you game long-term period. So I'm really interested to see how gaming performance is going to be on here, because it's already kind of getting warm. I know this chip, it consumes a lot more power, but that's also something I was kind of concerned about. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, does it get super hot? But like I said, we'll put it to the gaming test and see. Maybe it just stays at this kind of temperature. Now, the fingerprint scanner was pretty good on here. I really didn't notice any issues with it. It's still extremely fast. You also have face unlock on here as well if you want to take advantage of that. Did not have any issues with that. So I do want to talk about the cameras real quick. So I just did a test run on the cameras, and the cameras are always the, you know, the funnest part of this phone, because it, you know, kind of forces you to take zoom shots because it has such great zoom capability. So I just had a ton of fun with just taking zoom shots. I always do, and image quality so far just looks really good on this phone. So the camera specs are 108 megapixel lens, and then you have a 10 megapixel periscope telephoto lens, and then that can do 10x optical zoom. Then you have another 10 megapixel telephoto lens that does 3x optical zoom, then a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then you have 8K video at 24 frames, and then you have a 40 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. So it's got a spec'd out camera, and you can see image quality is basically what you would expect if you're paying for, you know, a phone at this price point. Images are just going to come out super crispy, very detailed, good dynamic range. The zoom capability is pretty much, it's just in a class of its own. It's just extremely nice. So this phone has a huge advantage in as far as zoom is concerned here. And overall, I just really like the cameras on here, and we'll get more in depth with the cameras in another video. But so far, image quality is top notch, like you would expect. I'll go ahead and show you guys some video as well too. Hi guys, here's a quick video test on the S22 Ultra here. Ultra wide, 3x, 10x. Nice. Let's do a quick walk. It's pretty nice. Now, lastly, this phone is getting from what people are reporting, around 6 hours of screen on time. So this phone has pretty good battery life, 5,000 milliamp battery with 45 watt charging. So this thing is going to charge up super fast as well too. So I'll put that to the test as well, and I'll also do a charging test to see how this phone goes from 0 to 100. And I'll go ahead and put this case on for you guys See how this case feels. You're definitely gonna want to put a case on this phone because of the cameras. It kind of collects dust. It's something I noticed too. Like the camera part collects dust around here. So you might want to put a case. I mean, honestly, if you're paying $1,300 for a phone, you really want to put a case on this. This is just kind of, you know, it's expensive, right? But yeah, this feels nice. It does make the device a little bit bulkier than I would like. I don't know. I might just get like a glass screen protector because 9 times out of 10, every time I put a case on my phone and I get a crack, it's still, regardless of whether you have a fancy case, it's still the screen's gonna crack. So you really want to preserve the screen, if anything. But I would say get a glass screen protector as well too. This also has a flap too to protect the charger port here. I also want to test out the speakers before we go ahead and bounce here. I already got Dolby Atmos on, max volume. So these are some super loud, crispy sounding speakers, man. These are pretty good. Let's turn Dolby Atmos off. I honestly think it sounds better with Dolby Atmos off. It's more bass. Yeah, so speakers are just super crispy, top-notch quality speakers. The top speakers put in a ton of work as well too. It's got good quality on that one as well. So yeah, so we'll be doing a ton of videos. What do you guys want to see on this phone? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.